One thing actors have to get past when they join the entertainment business is that they will be forced to kiss many of their co-stars. However, sometimes actors just flat out refuse to kiss their co-star for a number of different reasons. Hi, I'm Stacey Taylor and today I'm counting down the top 10 actors who refuse to kiss their co-star. So which celebrities would you like to kiss, and let us know in the comments below. Coming in number 10 today we have Nina Dobrev and Ian Somerhalder. Fans of The Vampire Diaries will remember the love affair between Nina Dobrev and Ian Somerhalder. While the series for years led us urging the producers to let the two be together on screen like they were off screen, and somewhere along the lines we finally saw the two who played Elena Gilbert and Damon Salvatore finally get together, and it gave us some strong romance that we wish would last forever. There's no denying that the couple had a huge amount of chemistry when they were finally put together on the screen as lovers, and we all screamed. But following their real life breakup and the fact Ian then quickly went on to get married, it seems like the actors were in a position where they could no longer be in the same room together. Nina even had enough when she left the show before she was convinced to return for a final episode, and the two were then talked into finally kissing on screen one last time, so it could be the perfect ending for their characters. It seems like they would end up locking lips one last time, but it was said to have been one of the most awkward scenes the two had ever filmed together. Number 9. Vanessa Hudgens and James Franco. Seems like Vanessa Hudgens didn't want to kiss James Franco, and when she found out that she had a scripted kissing scene with the actor, she wasn't too impressed with the idea and started to argue that the film should just drop the scene altogether. During an interview back in 2013 while defending her role in the movie Spring Breakers, she would confess that she didn't like kissing her co-star and that she would rather kiss a girl over and over again than have to kiss him again. While the star was fine with kissing her other co-star, Ashley Benson, she would say, "I'd rather kiss Ashley than kiss James, to be honest, because she's a girl and I was close to her and I felt comfortable. So I was like, yeah, I'll kiss Ashley." And to be fair to James, his character was quite an oddball in the movie, so the kissing scene was never going to be a generic one. Perhaps if the two were cast in a different type of movie altogether in the future, he could prove that he was just playing his part, but we all know he wasn't just playing his part. But also at the same time, the movie's commercial was just clickbait and the film was actually really boring and not interesting to watch, but at the same time, Vanessa was getting these weird vibes from James Franco, and that should have been noted. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in at number 8, we have Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson. If this was a Twilight movie and Reese Witherspoon was a giant fan, then she probably would have swooned like the rest of us watching Bella and Edward fall in love. However, while there may be a bunch of women who have queued up around the block to have a chance to lock lips with Robert Pattinson in a kissing booth, seems like Reese Witherspoon would not be one of these women. The two actors who worked together on Water for Elephants back in 2011, and it seems like while their kissing scenes managed to show the right kind of emotion for the film, they were also forced, as Reese actually didn't want to kiss Robert because he had a cold during the film. It said that his cold got so bad at one point during filming that he actually had so much mucus dripping out of his nose, so no one could really argue Reese's reasons weren't valid because gross. Who would actually want to kiss someone in that state? Reese was probably trying to argue the fact that she didn't want to catch whatever Robert was suffering from, which is actually pretty understandable, and shame on the production for actually making her go through with it. Just gross. Number 7. Brad Pitt and any other actress. Brad Pitt is one of the best known actors in Hollywood thanks to his iconic dreamy roles. And while the actor has filmed some pretty daring love scenes while dating a number of different actresses, it seemed like Brad's entire outlook on life changed when he got married to Angelina Jolie. And during this period, that's probably why he was so miserable when he was with her, because she dictated his whole life. While Brad was working on the set of The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Brad initially refused to kiss the stunning redhead who had been chosen specifically for that scene. The director David Fincher was stunned, and many of Brad's fans assumed that Angelina was the reason Brad hadn't wanted to do it, since he didn't want to cause any issues at home with his wife like he did when he was seeing Jennifer Aniston. Brad obviously did decide to kiss the girl in the end, but these were the first few signs that started to show that his marriage with Angelina Jolie was starting to unravel. Number 6. Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen. When Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen were both working together on the set of Scary Movie 5. They were part of a very famous bedroom scene, and in the scene the two were scripted to have at least 3 on-screen kisses. But Lindsay flat out refused to lock lips with the former Two and a Half Men star throughout the scene. While it seems unknown why Lindsay refused to kiss Sheen, it would be reported that both stars had to sign a release that confirmed that neither of them had cold sores. Lindsay had objected the kissing part for their scene a number of times in the days leading up to filming, but it seems that the scripts weren't changed until the day before, with a body double being forced to step in for some parts while others were written out completely. Despite not wanting to get physical with her co-star, Sheen and Lohan were later reported to have become good friends, and he even gave Lindsay $100,000 to help pay off her tax bill. Number 5. Kevin Hart and other men. Over the last decade, Kevin Hart has become a well-known comedian, and recently he started to get cast in some pretty big movies, which has caused him to step out of his comfort zone. Kevin, who was seen in the film Central Intelligence alongside The Rock, was forced to kiss 2 other actors in a scene at one point, and he wasn't so fond of the incident. After the movie, Hart would say that he didn't like to play characters that were attracted to men because he was really insecure about acting in these types of roles, and that he wasn't able to fit into the character as much as he would like to. In the movie, Hart would have to kiss The Rock, and while the two were able to get their kissing scene out of the way, it seems like Kevin initially didn't want to do it, but after the producers urged him, he was finally able to get past his issues. However, even though this was a big step for Kevin to dive out of his comfort zone, it now seems highly unlikely that Hart will ever accept another movie for this type of role if he knows his character will have to kiss another man, which is something the film industry just needs to get over, because there's nothing wrong with your character having to kiss anyone. It's not you, it's your role. Number 4. Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts. Denzel Washington is a legend on the big screen, but it seems that when it comes to kissing scenes in movies, he's another star who comes with a number of problems. When Denzel was cast alongside Julia Roberts in The Pelican Brief, Denzel would completely out of the blue turn down many of the scenes in the film, especially when it came to the opportunity for him to kiss one of the most beautiful actresses in Hollywood, Julia Roberts. Later, Denzel would explain that he wasn't rejecting the kiss because he was against Julia, but it's the fact that he has a huge fan base full of beautiful black women. At these times, these women were being shown on screen as someone who wasn't desirable. So he wanted to maintain his loyalty to his core audience, and this meant that he was going to have to refuse any scenes that made him kiss any woman that weren't black on the screen, which is honestly pretty iconic. It's not really unsurprising that Denzel is one of those actors that directors are happy to work around, and we have to praise him for helping shape Hollywood into what it's becoming today. Number 3. Carey Mulligan and Johnny Depp. Despite being part of the acting business for a number of years, it seems like Carey Mulligan is still like the rest of us, and she gets starstruck when she has to act alongside an actor that she is a huge fan of. And unfortunately for Carey, this is exactly what happened when she was cast alongside Johnny Depp in the film Public Enemies. It seems like Carey was so overcome with her admiration for Johnny that she would become unable to deliver a number of different scenes in the film, and it got to the point that she was so anxious when it came to the kissing scenes that it took her around 16 times to get it right, which probably drove the film and crew nuts. It even seems like a large portion of the scene was removed from the film as she was unable to maintain her composure, and the scene didn't seem to work as well as directors thought it would. While we won't be seeing Carey do kissing scenes with any big time actors anytime soon, it just goes to show that actors are only human too. Number 2. Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte. It seems like when Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte both starred in the film I Love Trouble, as far as the on-screen chemistry goes, the couple completely tanked, but off-screen, the tension between the two stars is said to be unbearable, which made the working conditions too hard to handle at times. The two had a number of different issues working together throughout the film, and the conditions were so bad that it even reached the point where they were forced to film their scenes separately because they couldn't even be in the same room together, let alone beside each other anymore. Then came their on-screen kiss, and it was the one thing that Julia dreaded the most, and when the kiss was finally over and done with, Julia was happy that it was finally out of the way. Now, no one really knows why the two actors clash so much, but since they both starred in the film I Love Trouble, the two haven't worked together, and it seems like the film has left a lasting impression since Julia is occasionally mentioning him in interviews as one of the worst people she has ever had to work with, which really makes you wonder what really went down between the two. And coming in number 1 today we have Alyson Hannigan and Jason Segel. Alyson Hannigan's character as Lily and Jason Segel's character as Marshall have become one of the best loved couples on TV thanks to their roles in the iconic show How I Met Your Mother. But even a couple who has had much chemistry on screen as Marshmallow and Lily Pad, they have had their own fair share of problems when it comes to their kissing scenes. And it seems like Alyson Hannigan actually had a huge problem with the scene because Jason Segel smokes, and it's even been said that Alyson was forced to kiss her TV husband even after she said he smelled and tasted like tobacco. And it was something that she found off-putting, and honestly I don't blame her. Despite being forced to kiss her on-screen husband, Alyson was able to suppress her gag reflex and maintain chemistry she had with Jason on the screen, which is a huge part of the reason why the TV show later became one of the most popular TV shows people still watch today. Alyson has had her own fair share of strange kisses over the years, so it seems like for the most part she's become an expert at maintaining her professionalism. Well, that's it for this video, my little peaches. Until the next one, remember to stay juicy.